time is to flush out the auxiliary collapses that are going to occur because of accounts that, let's say, public mining companies had with FTX or other hedge funds that have obviously over the weekend gone to zero in their accounts. Now, first, I have some disclosures here, okay? Number one, I'm a paid spokesperson of FTX. So I've been dealing with their management. I've spoken to Sam last week on Thursday. I also have corporate accounts in FTX. I'm also a shareholder of FTX International and FTX US. So now we got that out of the way. I just want to make sure I'm being very transparent on this. But we're not finished with the collateral damage. And so to your question, this is a bottoming process. An event like this is very important because it's finally going to have several impacts in areas that we need. It's going to accelerate regulation, number one. As we speak, I'm at the governor's conference in Orlando. This is topic number one in financial services. The amount of discussion going on last night and certainly today about this situation is going to move. It's definitely going to move legislation in the House. There's no question about that. This is a defining moment. But what we don't know is how many in the context of that conversation, on Wednesday of last week, the whole world knew that there was a liquidity issue at FTX and that the hold on the balance sheet was somewhere between $6 and $8 billion. Now, I work in the indexing market for sovereign wealth and pension, and so we were getting a lot of inbound requests about information about the situation because that's the kind of money that an institution or a sovereign wealth fund can put to work if they thought there was an interesting opportunity. And in financial services, illiquidity events or liquidity events like this can be interesting investment opportunities if you think it's a legitimate investment and it's not issues with the regulator. So the timeline of that conversation is I put a message into FTX. I wanted to confirm the amount being requested. Was it going to be 6 or 8? Sam called me back. Very, standard conversation. He was, rational. And we had that conversation about confirming what the amount was going to be. The amount was $8 billion. That's what they were looking for. So I went back to these various entities that were asking me about it. And by that time, the SEC chair was on the air around the world. I think the network was CNBC. And he made it clear that they were going to come down hard on this situation. So the minute that occurred, that was the end of any sovereign wealth fund's interest because they index in the S&P 500. They have to be compliant with the SEC. And so, if you're a sovereign wealth fund making $250 million a day, the only market you can put it into to park it is the S&P. It's liquid enough to absorb that. So I'm a big boy. I've seen this movie before. I will say on a personal level, and I don't think if you talk to 10 people that knew Sam, 9 of them are going to say what a wonderful guy he was. And I'm one of those. I just think he's a very interesting individual. Over time, we'll peel this onion, find out what happened. I don't think that guy has an evil bone in his body. I've met his parents. They're compliance lawyers, Sanford. Wonderful people, very philanthropic. It was those, it's meeting the team there that gave me the confidence to get involved with this because I wanted a platform, a robust platform where my compliance department, my accounting, my financial people, and my own operating company and our auditors could look at this and say, all right, we can understand the transactions, we can account for it, and we can report to regulators as we must. And we did. The truth is the FTX platform was very robust. It was very well designed. Hundreds of millions of dollars went into making that. And that's why there was sovereign interest and pension interest in the platform itself, because at that time, just before the gates came down, you got to remember all of these funds